Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. I hope everyone had a happy 4th of July for those of you that live in the States. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Rules can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, the readings have a therapy style to them, so I like to go deep. I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play as karmic themes to help you understand why your person does what they do, why you're attracting that person into your life, and what you can do to shape shift the reality, because there's many different realities that play it at one time. So a lot of times our actions and our habits and the way that we deal with people are the way that we've been taught to deal with certain types of people, right? So if you have a difficult mother or a difficult father, or if there was some really toxic thing going on in the house, maybe there was infidelity, or maybe there was alcoholism or drug addiction, or just a state of poverty, state consciousness. When we grow up in certain environments, we unconsciously become programmed. And so we have habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with those programs. So, what helped us survive a lot of times are what's going to block us from being able to manifest certain things in our life, whether that's money, if we were taught to hold on to money, that we were taught there's never enough money, there's not enough. And if there was a lot of fear around money, again, then you've been programmed to believe that money is actually a thing that you need to acquire instead of that it's energy that's used to exchange energy. And that it first and foremost is going to reflect how you feel about yourself. People that don't feel good about themselves or they have a lot of spiritual blockages, you can see there's usually a deficit within finances. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not talented in what they do, and it doesn't mean it could mean that their habits and their behaviorism, so they might overspend. They might not emotionally be getting what they need out of their career. They're good at it, but then they're going to look for outside things to make them whole. Anything that we take outside of ourselves to make us feel complete, whether that's a person, whether that's drugs, alcohol, shopping, gambling, hoarding, whatever it is a sign that we're imbalanced. And it's usually that thing that becomes the downfall, makes it not possible for us to manifest our own heaven on earth, right? We all can create our own heaven on earth because we all have the spirit inside of us. We have the universe inside of us, and the universe is all knowing, and it's made up of the same energy that the divine is made up of, because the divine made the universe and everything in the universe. So when it's whole, it's in the energy of unconditional love. So that means when we are whole, when we're fragmented, however, then we have spiritual blockages where we feel that we're not enough, that there's something missing, we're not good enough, but we're not aware. We suppress those energies. We become aware through the experiences that play out within our life. So remember, you are the alchemist of your life. You have the power to change your life. You don't have to inherit your family's karma, and you don't have to, continue to accumulate negative karma. You can actually, again, step into a reality that makes you feel really abundant and successful. All right. So as I said, the readings have a therapy style to them because karmics, they're not just yes or no. It's a little bit of yes, it's a little bit of no. And that's what is the mind fuck, because it's like you feel all these different emotions and they do all these different things. And again, we get caught up in why are they doing what they do, because it makes us feel a certain way. So again, understanding allows you to deal with them a lot differently. All right, let's see what the underlining energy is. all important information will be in the description box, including my group shadow healing coaching program, life coaching that includes inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma in a group done with oracle cards, done with my system and hundreds of other cards. Very interactive, very healing and therapeutic because we go through traumatic experiences by ourselves. So to heal in a community that actually isn't saying, oh, you should just, your mother's in a bad mood, or your mother's my friend, or your father's my friend, or I don't really want to deal with this, or it makes me feel uncomfortable, your issue, which I understand when you share about your traumas, you learn very quickly from other people that they don't want to hear it, that they don't want to hear it because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And it doesn't matter if, that parent is physically abusing you, psychologically abused you, or if you're in a relationship, after a while, people just don't want to hear it. So, as I said, to heal in a group is so therapeutic because instead of you hearing, oh, please don't tell me about your mother, or please don't tell me about your boyfriend, or please don't tell me about your problems, what you're hearing is, well, I went through the same thing and I understand you. I get it. I'm here for you. And no, I can validate what you feel because I too have experienced it. The trauma is bad enough when a parent is abusive or when a lover is abusive. But when people that are supposed to be your friends or family look the other way because they just don't want to deal with it. Well, that's part of the reason why the country is in the state that the country's in. We look the other way. We pretend that it's not happening. And we've come to a place within our evolution that we cannot do that anymore. We have to become the parents that we would have wanted. We have to become what we needed when we were young ourselves in order to transform this world because the world is corrupt. And that's why it says, don't become part of the world. Be in the world, but don't become a part of it. Otherwise, it begins to distort your mind about who you are and what you can have. Because we all go through difficult experiences. So, understanding that, hey, life is just a school and you're not your experiences or what someone says that you are. And that this is how to stand in your truth. This is how to become, no one teaches us that. We're taught to survive. And so, again, that takes us further away from ourselves. And we've come to a place within our evolution. And we know this by looking at the relationships. Look at your relationships. No one's a very, like maybe 5% of people are in happy relationships. Look at the health of people. Their health is declined. We know more than anything. We have treatments for everything and everything, but why are people still dying of cancer? It's beneficial for people to have us in a place of ignorance. And that's why there's a spiritual war happening right now. And when I say there's a spiritual war, there's a spiritual war on our consciousness. So again, understanding who you are is very important, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, that you have spiritual sovereignty, which means that you can create whatever it is that you want. If you can imagine it, you can create it. What's blocking you are the psychological and emotional blocks that were created from experiences that you've lived or witnessed. You can watch your mother or father suffer and you can inherit that karma. So again, we've come to a place in our evolution that we have to be able to fight back. And without understanding spirituality, we're in trouble. So first card out, look at this, past life connection. So when we see past life, there's a lot. It means past life karmic mate that can step it up to twin flame, but usually doesn't. Past life karmic mate that has a lot of habits and behaviorisms that are going to trigger you, again, to help awaken you so that you can heal. Again, because if you don't know, their subconscious, like I said, not until you're in a relationship with someone that they trigger you, does it make you think. unfortunately, a lot of times we think that we're less than, not good enough, or the person makes us feel that way. So we really have to know our worth. If we don't know our worth, we're going to be in trouble with a past life karmic mate. They're going to take full advantage. Again, very important. Because understand, there is chemistry. There is, again, this person recognizes you from a past life. You recognize them. The instantaneous of, oh, this is my person. But a lot of times they've just come in to teach you. And it's not that a lot of times they don't, might not even know that this is the way that, that they're coming in and they're strategizing. A lot of times they do that, but a lot of times also they don't. It's just that they're so not healed that you're going to get the same outcome. An imbalance in a chakra is an imbalance in a chakra. It doesn't matter whether you know, are a shady person or you're a very fearful person and you don't trust yourself and you don't like yourself. It's the same energy. And we have to realize that. We have to know our worth. We always have to know our worth, especially when dealing with this energy. Okay? Patience. So I feel like you've been in separation from this person for a long time. And I think intuitively you both knew that one day you would get, like, have a chance again, that you would have a chance again, but it's going to require a lot of patience. And I feel like you're done, to be honest with you. Like, there's a part of you that feels like I'd be holding on. I'd be holding on to something that hasn't been here. It's like you didn't invest here. And being that you didn't invest, it meant that you invested somewhere else, is what I'm feeling. And it could have been because you had problems, it could have been whatever it is, but it was still a choice. So again, being with this person automatically would make you feel less than, because it's like you did not pick me. The loyalty. So even though that this was a past life karmic mate, this person, I believe, wants to come back now. And the irony is you don't want them to come back because you're like, I don't see you that way. You chose someone else. You chose to abandon me. You chose, where I feel like this person would say, well, I needed to learn. I needed to go through my thing. But there's a part of you that's like, I don't care. It's like because you didn't consider me at all. And so again, especially if this person was dating someone else, talking to someone else, feeding someone else, it meaning time, energy, focus, money. Again, we only have so much. So it's like it's created a lot. And this person was childish, I do believe. So like there is patience, which if this was a twin flame, there would be a sense of I can be patient because I trust you. But there's a part of you that's like, I don't trust you. And I don't know why I'm feeling that. We're going to pick a random deck, not even a spiritual deck. Just like, I mean, it's a spiritual deck, but it's not a shadow deck, just to see where this person is right now. This is the end. They know. They can feel that you've cut that energy. They can feel that you cut it. And what else are they feeling? You were the person in my dreams, though. I feel like this person had to sabotage the connection in order to realize that you were their person. You make me want to be a better person. So again, almost like this person did learn a lot from you. Please forgive me. So this is what they want. There's a random deck. There's a lot of different things in this deck, like fights, arguments, conflict. I dive in and out of relationships, but it's again, we didn't get any of those cards. It's again because I wanted to really see. I'm like, where is this person? And I want to see what they did and why they did what they did, because it doesn't really make sense to me. But okay, let's see. I feel like this person just lied a lot. It's like they lied and manipulated. Like it's like always like not telling you full truths. So there was always like this element of mystery, like you didn't know what was going on in their life. And then when you would talk to them, you're like, okay, you're like reaching, like you're not really like you're trying to connect the dots, but again, it doesn't make sense. Your story doesn't make sense. And so you felt like they weren't being honest with you. You felt like they were not willing to settle down and be responsible, like that they wouldn't commit. Like there was a sense of, oh, like I don't really know what I want. And that you saw like this person's dark side and their dark side. Let's see what their dark side is. I mean, aside from being adrift, what I see here is that this person acted like they didn't really care, that there was just an essence of, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. You need patience. I'll get back to you. And like why they did what they did. And the truth of the matter is, it's like, well, you're like, I didn't really feel like the person wanted to settle down. They were in their low vibrational energy. Dark side usually means that like you're running around and you're like in relationships that are, disempowering, like where you're like, like you're in this devil energy of wanting to people to submit to you, like, or, just manipulating. This person almost like likes to play a lot of games in relationships. I feel like they focus too much on the physical body. They're impulsive. So they'll say that they'll like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come over, and then you'll make plans and they dip out last minute because something else comes up. Like you just felt like being in a relationship with them would be one-sided, and that, it would be a karmic contract where you saw on an emotional level you didn't get anything. You're like, well, you're not really giving me anything. And so like, you want me to be here, but you want me to be here to be like to have sex or to like fool around. But as far as deep, intimate connection, there isn't one, which is what the problem is 99% of the time with past life karmic mates, is that they're not ready to be transparent. They're not ready to be vulnerable. So you're never, ever, 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 ever going to get an apology from this person. They feel inadequate, but they're not going to show that at all. If anything, they're going to show that they're cocky. And the thing is, they want to stay in their lower energy. It's not that they don't have a connection to you, it's I don't want to give in to you. It's all about control, which is they grew up with a family pattern of watching codependency. I mean, that's what the family patterns are when we inherit them. It's that we inherit this karmic contract, being in a relationship with someone that over time you're not happy. And you're not happy because you focus so much on the physical and not anything on the intimate, where you acted like you didn't care. Like you act like you don't like to make yourself feel superior. And that's the thing. So this person act like again, but really they're intimidated by you. And so again, it was more again about the sex, and you just felt it was empty aside from that. For those of you that had a physical connection, and for those of you that didn't get that far, it was like that's all they wanted. Because every time they talked to me, that's all that they would talk about. They would always make the conversation go back to that. Anytime you ask them something personal, they'd again redirect the conversation like, nope, I'm not going to tell you anything about me. So I'm going to keep you out, which made you think, well, you're not really invested here and you're impulsive. So you want to do whatever you want to do. And then you put yourself in some unnecessary, weird, freaking competition with me. Like, I'm not talking to you because I'm not getting what I want. You're not respecting me. And then you're not going to talk to me. And then you're not gonna, so now all of a sudden, like they want to come back, but it's almost like, why? You don't want them back now. And it's like that's somebody that has intimacy issues. It's like, oh, now I have fear of abandonment, and you can't leave me. It's like, even though I didn't give you anything, I didn't give you anything. I didn't tell you how I cared. I invested zero. I expected you to stay. You don't want me back. So now I want you back because, hey, there's no expectation. Now I get to come back. And it's like, oh, and so it's like this person's toxic, toxic as fuck. They're toxic. It's like because what they do is they play mind games. It's all about control. It's like because they'll come back in and they'll act like they really care. And that's the issue. It's like where it's like again, they don't. They think there's a part of them that's like, well, I'll come in and I'll tell them I'm sorry, but it's like they don't want to see the fact that they neglected you and they acted like you were like a conquest and there's still that vibe of you just want me to be like another person that you could say that you hooked up with to feed your ego. You don't really want to be in a relationship because this person doesn't even know how to be in a relationship. They want you now because you don't want them. That's what I see here. Because that's how the reading started off. You were like, make no bones about it. I don't want to be with this person. It's like you don't. It's like, yeah, it's too hard. They make it too difficult. It's like, but now this person had like this weird epiphany that you're their divine union. As soon as you will like decided, you know what, this connection is too difficult. It's like, but the truth of the matter is, you're always a secret desire of theirs, but they have love blocks. So again, if you're going to be in a relationship with them, it's like being on a lone path. It's kind of wishful thinking on their part that you would actually take them back. But this person's used to being able to run in and make people fall head over heels for them. And I just feel like, you just are like, no, because you're truly wild at heart. You don't really want to be in a relationship. You want to treat me like a conquest. You're mad that I took my power back. You're mad that you didn't get over on me. Hey, it makes you have to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm not really that great of a person. But that's what it is. It's triggering. It's triggering to this person. So again, you shattered their self-image is what I see. And it's like that, but that's why they want to come back and they want to come back and they don't even want to come back and really be authentic about the apology. They're like, yeah, I'll say and I'll ask for forgiveness. But it's like that's not enough. They neglected you. This person thinks that they can come back and treat you the way that they treated you. And the thing is, they would not come back that way. This person wants to feel that way again. They want to feel when you are head over heels with them. Because now they're saying you were the best thing in their life. They're gonna come in strong. They're gonna say that they love you. I wish I would have treated you better. But the truth of the matter is that this person knows it's time for them to heal now because you're not going to be with them. So they're stuck in that ugly energy of abandonment and knowing that they are the ones that fucked up this situation. Even if they don't, it's again in their mind that they're like, oh, you're my person now. They know that they screwed it up and they have to sit in that ugly energy of, oh my God, like now I'm being abandoned. Now I'm not wanted. Now this person's making me feel that way, which makes them have to do some work. Makes them have to say, why did I treat this person that way? Why did I act like I didn't care? Why didn't I give them anything? And it's because they have intimacy issues. Hey, if you were like an insignificant person, oh yeah, hey girl, let's go out to dinner sometime. Yeah, let's you're looking good in that profile picture. Or hey dude, yeah, I'm around for you. I'm Monday through Sunday. Just give me a call. But somebody that actually likes you, or you're not even going to get a like on the Facebook page. You're not going to get nothing. It's like, oh, that's a second chakra imbalance. It's like you're not emotionally intelligent, you're manipulative, you don't want to be transparent, so you're never on equal ground. And this is what you see. You're wired at heart. Because you have trust issues, but you're the person that no one should trust. That's the irony. I know that I crossed the line with you and they know it. So it's almost like they always sabotage their connections when it's a good connection. But a lot of times they're not good connections because this person comes in for a good time, not a long time, and so this time it actually was one, but they didn't realize it until way after. So I'm like, I want to know what made them all of a sudden. I mean, we never really do this, but I'm being called to do it today, and I don't know why, but let's check it out and see, like, why all of a sudden this person had an epiphany, but why? Why? As soon as you let go? Like, is that like God's? cruel joke, or is that like, it's again, could it require patience? No, it's like you're gonna be like pissed off. Um, well, Spirit says, well, the energy's been stagnant for a while and it's triggering this person. So, what meaning like you haven't said anything, they know you're moving on, you're not giving anything, and it's triggering them. So, part of it is that. And then, but it's also making this person, again, they don't feel like they deserve your love, and they're just worried that you would leave them. So that's, again, part of their healing, and that they don't feel deserving, and it's affecting them. So again, that brings them back to even more healing about themselves. Would, again, we're saying what's doing it? Well, that's probably what it is. This person feels you leaving them behind and leaving them for good. And what it is it's they're stuck in this uncomfortable energy of I'm not good enough. So if this person would have hooked up with you and you would have been a conquest for them, it would have fed their ego. They wouldn't have really stayed faithful. They would come in and out and tell you one thing and then probably do something else. But the thing is, you're not playing. So you took your energy away, which was actually the best thing because it's almost like the pain that this person is feeling, the uncomfortableness that this person is feeling because they couldn't get over. And remember, you showed them who they are. It's like that is so uncomfortable for this person. They run from that. They don't look at it. So even though you're like, it's not really a big deal, it's a big deal for this person because they're their ego, they think. So if you show them something that's against their, belief, you're making them question their reality. Watch that person go ape shit crazy. And so that's really what it is. So this person's angry. They're angry, but they're really angry because they know that they're not deserving. We wouldn't just feel that we're not deserving. We, again, this person shows that they're not deserving. And but they have to dig deeper to understand why. And that's where their healing is. But they wouldn't even look at it unless you walked away. And so, again, leaving them in this uncomfortable energy is giving them anxiety. So, it's again more about control. But someone that's so fragmented, what you'll notice is they get very confused with their emotions. Like they have anxiety, but that anxiety is not because like they're so in love with you. It's because they lost control. They're a narcissist and they're losing control, and you're showing them who they are. But and that's why they get that. That's why they're angry. That's why, again, they're emotional. They're all over the place. But inevitably, it leads them with that really uncomfortable energy of like, let me come in and trigger you. It's again like this person would be like, let me come in and trigger you, and by even coming back, because then I can tell whether or not you really care about me and whether you're not. It's a strategic move because this person is like, they don't feel deserving of the love. So they're not going to come to you and be transparent because it's like, I don't want to be rejected because they already know that they're not deserving of it. So, this is why, but you're taking your energy back, and this is this person's worst nightmare. I feel like because, like I said, in their mind, their reality, I think that they thought that they were going to be able to be with you, but in their way. And the fact that they, actually thought that tells you that they have a big ego and needed really a check. So you have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? I'm just trying to organize myself because I have cards everywhere. And at the end of the reading, it drives me crazy because I got cards everywhere. I'm gonna keep that there. Let me just get it out of the way. Okay. So we can look at the inner child wound cards. I'll put that there. All right. And let's see. You're a magnet of whom what comes into your life. Why did you attract this person into your life? Well, those kind of just flopped out right on the bottom. Truth, and inner authority. We haven't gotten those in a while. Okay. Cleansing, water. It's funny, even though this person's toxic as fuck, joy. It didn't really bring out like your shadows. Six, hope. Like you didn't get really one negative card. That's the irony. That's how you know that this was a past life karmic meet, where Spirit said you've always had the ability to cleanse yourself, to again recreate your life. So it's again, this person didn't, they misjudged you. They thought that they could play with you. And the thing is, because you are really strong within who you are, and like with your friends and your hobbies and your interests, and I say that because water is your second chakra, and that is your individuality, who you perceive that you are when you look in the mirror. And so, like, I do feel like this is very empathic energy right here. The cleansing, being able to heal, being able to, intuitively be able to feel, to be able to go with the flow of life. And I feel like you're someone that can go with the flow of life because you intuitively are led, like it's more of an internal thing. That's why this person thought that you were going to be like a pushover, because they're like, oh, this person's very like in their heart, mushy, mushy. They're gonna give. They're really a good person. They're gonna give me a lot. So not because you're stupid, but because they saw this clean energy. And when we're really clear, we're a clear conduit for spirit to speak. It means that we're not trying to get over, we're not trying to get around, we're just doing something out of the love of, because we love, that's why. And so this person thought that they were going to take advantage. Little did they realize that you have very strong intuition. You're not going to let anybody take advantage of you. So you have this very soft exterior and very nice. But if push comes to shove, you know how to take it down. You know how to be like, nope, I will fight you. I will stand my ground. I will live my truth. I will not let you take away my hope or my joy. It's like, because that's something that you learn to acquire on your own. So it was like the answers were always inside of you. This person made you step into a better version of yourself. Be that you actually had to deep down to those inner child wounds and say, is there anything good that came about from my childhood? And there's a lot that did. And that's really, again, that's why you were able to get away from this person. Remember, when you're light and when you're clear, you're going to be a magnet to like all different types of energy. The energy that needs you, not just the energy that resonates with you, but the energy that needs you. And this person needed you. But again, they didn't come at you the proper way. Past life karmic mate had the potential to step it up to twin flame. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do the work. It was easier to take advantage. And now this person sees who you are. Now there's again a sense of, oh, now I want to, because it's again, they're seeing you in better light, and where they're not in that better light. They're like they're stuck with what they thought that they were going to put onto you. And that's why they're like, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to play down like that. And they don't like it. So again, I would don't go back with this person because, they already showed you who they are. And what you'd have to do is fully transmute the negative energy to again embody the new consciousness, which this is what you've always done. So this was kind of like easy. But Spirit says that person will not be in your life. So there means that there's room for something else to be there. And so we have to say, well, what are we supposed to put there then? And Spirit says, first of all, use the power to turn adversity into opportunity, create the positive change. So maybe again, if you really felt like this person was toxic and affected you to a point, you can write blogs about it. You can again share it like through a video, a Facebook, again, to share your knowledge, because you always want to turn the adversity into positive change. and to do something with that negative energy. Also, again, the emotions, it's just to realize um, to channel those emotions need to be put into some sort of purpose. And so it's whatever you choose it to be, but also know that this was just a stepping stone, that each small step brings you closer to overcoming your fears. Again, so this could have been a fear like, what if I get together with a person that tries to get over? And Spirit says, yeah, and so what happened? You have good discernment. It's again, you're able to see. It's not about trusting the person, it's about trusting yourself. When we trust ourselves, we are not afraid to be intimate. We're not afraid to let people get close because we know that we're again like would we be sad if the person left our life? Yes, but we know that we're in charge of our own happiness. So we're not giving that person every ounce of ourselves to be codependent. When you're dealing with a past life karmic mate, it's almost like they don't want you to have an identity. It's like you're not allowed an opinion. You're not allowed, and it kind of pushes you into whatever that childhood wound is or gift. And in here, it's like you probably already knew what the wounds were, where Spirit says, but you didn't know the gifts. So again, stepping stone. And now it's time to go into uncharted waters, meaning you got to evoke your curiosity to discover new aspects of life, of who you are. Because if those same karmic tapes are playing from the past, where, hey, at one time, somebody betrayed you and that's why that happened. Well, Spirit says, go out into the world, create new experiences, connect with new people, see yourself differently. Again, venture with confidence. You're not the same person that you were. The situation just was here to help you integrate all facets of yourself to make you whole because you already were whole. Everyone's whole, but when we go through, traumatic experiences that make us feel um inadequate, not good enough, or they play games. I mean, this person didn't emotionally tell you anything. They acted like they didn't care the whole time, which it's like, okay, why did you do that? Well, because I don't want to like have to seem vulnerable. I don't really want to have to. It's like, well, then you don't have a relationship then. It's going to feel empty without that emotional connection. It's only going to be able to go so deep. And then when a person's like that, where they don't go deep, then they don't have a conscience because they didn't build enough of an emotional connection to you. It's like, well, the guy down the block died. Do you know the guy down the block? No. Are you crying? Because it's not that you're like, oh, my condolences, but are you affected by it? No, because you didn't emotionally know that person. Well, it's the same thing in a relationship. If you're not getting to know the person and they're because they're not putting in any effort, then they don't care how they treat you. And that's really what it comes down to. And this person wanted to ask for things that they shouldn't be asking on a first date or on a second date or on a third date. They should work their way up to that. That's how you know it's karmic too, because the person comes flying in and they want to act like they're married before doing the work. No. Just because they've been in relationships before, it's like, well, I don't really want to do that part. Get the hell out of here. It's like you don't want to, you should want to do it for yourself, not even for the other person. It's like you're stingy with your time, your energy, and all what because oh well, it's uncomfortable. Well, then you can be uncomfortable by yourself. And we leave off with one more message, and that is acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so that I can grow. And I advance in freedom on the path to light. And Spirit says, just sometimes those relationships are here to teach. And that is it. Have acceptance about it, learn, and move on. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.